Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Bo again. So, today we are going to talk about foreign policy and Russia and North Korea and a situation we talked about a few weeks ago and how things could be different, and a good illustration of why foreign policy and the way different countries pursue it should change. So, a few weeks ago, we talked about how North Korea was in a situation where there were a whole lot of signals that it was not going to have enough food, that it wasn't going to be able to feed its people. And I put out a video saying, hey, I understand the foreign policy concerns and how this might be used as leverage by the West to get them back to the table and all of this stuff. But at the end of the day, what needs to be remembered is that these are the farmer in the field, the worker in the factory. These are the people who aren't going to have food. They don't have anything to do with the decisions being made in those countries. Now, the West did not, at least to my knowledge, I haven't seen anything saying that they tried to use it as leverage. It looks like they didn't do anything. I can't really see anything tangible in which they tried to alleviate the situation. But now reporting is coming out that Russia is willing to give them food in exchange for weapons to be used in Ukraine. So, what does this mean? What's going to happen now? Let's assume that North Korea takes this deal. So now, weapons transfer from North Korea to Russia to Ukraine. What does the West have to do now? It has to defeat those weapons. What's more expensive? Food or all of those expensive products used by the military? It's cheaper to be a good person. It causes less suffering. If the world community had stepped up when the signals first started showing and provided food, this deal may not be happening. So now you are going to have prolonged problems because instead of acting in a more cooperative fashion for the sake of humanity, countries attempted to pursue their own foreign policy interests or just didn't care, one of the two. I would suggest it's probably a high likelihood that North Korea takes this deal. They have a lot of older equipment that matches what Russia is using today in Ukraine. And I know some people are going to say, well, it's older stuff. It's, it doesn't matter and all of that stuff. It's not like it's guided or anything like that. Yeah, it doesn't matter if it's falling on your town. This was a misstep. This was a misstep of Western foreign policy. And these types of situations happen more often than you might imagine. This one just happened to occur about a topic I had talked about, and then within short order, you can see the consequences of not remembering that beyond America's borders do not live a lesser people. If aid, real aid, not something that had strings attached to it, but real aid had been offered, this situation may not be happening. This was a misstep. And this is why our foreign policy, and this is most countries, it's not just the U.S. I do tend to hammer U.S. foreign policy more than most because I live here. Most foreign policy is designed to be very competitive. Countries don't have morality. They don't have friends. They have interests. And when I say stuff like that, that's not me saying that's a good thing. It's showing how people end up in a situation where they don't have enough food when it's not necessary. Because of an unwillingness to engage in actual humanitarian aid, the West is going to spend far more to defeat weapons that may not have been there had they done what most people would think is the right move. Now, at this point, the deal, as far as I know, the deal hasn't been agreed to yet, but it seems really likely. North Korea has a whole lot of stuff that Russia needs, and even though it is, quote, obsolete, it's better than Russia not having anything from their perspective. And Russia can provide the food, and North Korea needs the food. It seems like it's going to happen. There has also been talk about China perhaps providing weapons to Russia. That information went out, but I haven't seen anything following up saying that they actually decided to do that. As far as the North Korean situation, I was really hoping that China was going to step up and just give them the food. But that's where we're at. Expect that to hit the headlines. Expect it to just be used to villainize North Korea. And regardless of your opinion of North Korea, maybe you believe they should be villainized. But understand it was inaction that led to this. Anyway, it's just a thought. Y'all have a good day.